Happening today, members of the British royal family are set to meet for what's being called a crisis summit to discuss the future of Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle. Last week, the couple stunned the monarchy by announcing plans to distance themselves from the royal family. The shocking royal news has been dominating headlines in recent days. The prince and his wife say they seek to step back as senior members of the royal family and work to become financially independent.
After years of growing tension between the press, Harry and Meghan are also looking to withdraw from regular media scrutiny and control their own media image. Here now to talk about what this all means is Dr. Jana Matthews, Associate Professor of English at Rollins College. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning. And you really are a royal expert. Tell us about your background and kind of why you're a royal expert.
I specialize in the history and literature of royal kingship dating back to the Middle Ages up through the modern times. And so it's what I teach and what I research as well.
And what I find interesting is that you can look at it from that historical standpoint in the grand scope of things and explain to us how what's happening here maybe isn't really anything new.
Yeah, so what's happening with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle is everyone's freaking out about it and saying that their step back is breaking royal protocol and culture. And it really is, for the past 100 years, been really firmly entrenched in this hierarchical model. But if you look back to the Middle Ages or to the early modern period, what they're doing is completely normal. Younger princes left the family and went into monasteries or worked for the church. They did a lot of charity work. They had professional businesses. They did all sorts of things.
And, you know, we're hearing about their new coat of arms and their new website and their desire to become financially independent. So tell us about why symbolically this is a big deal, but maybe it isn't necessarily really a big deal.
Yeah. So first of all, many of their cousins, Harry's current cousins, and extended members of both the Windsor family currently have jobs, and they currently are financially independent. And so I think that they're making that connection and saying we're really not all that different than the other people, members of our royal family. The issue with the website is that instead of having their public image and their private life governed and monitored by the crown, they're taking control of that. And part of what their new website does in terms of branding is being able to tell their story in their own way. And that also is something that historically is very, very much consistent with how the monarchy has run up until about the mid-1800s.
And what I found fascinating is that they want to break away from the royal rota system, which is comprised of only, 7 media outlets, and more than half are considered tabloid?
Yes. So the royal rota system is a system by which by accepting 5% of in the form of the sovereign grant of part of their income, in exchange for that, they grant the media controlled and supervised access of their private life. And so they want to say, we won't accept that 5% of income from the public taxpayers, and in exchange, we want our private life back. And we want to make the decisions on what media we contact, who we engage with, and what story about us is being told.
I love when they said they want to engage with up-and-coming journalists. That will be very exciting for a lot of people I know. And of course, the big royal summit is happening today, where the royal family is coming together to try to carve out this new role. I mean, what do you think that's going to be like, or what do you think we can expect to see as we move through the day today?
Yeah. So I think, first of all, that the sort of royal summit or royal family meeting has been pitched as sort of a surprise announcement that the Queen and Prince Charles never saw it coming. It's highly unlikely that they did not get a heads up about this. I think that's part of the media, at least the British media, royal rota kind of pushing back and saying that they're upset with Harry's decision. What I think we can expect here is a sort of detailed negotiation between the Queen and Harry and Meghan about what roles they're going to observe, what charities they're going to support, and frankly, like the financial haggling of how they're going to break down the support that they get from the family and from the public, and where they're going to move forward.
And it seems like in their statement, they say they remain, committed to the Queen and committed to the Commonwealth and those responsibilities. But what I'm wondering is how it all plays into the economic impact if they split their time, because a lot of people are drawn to the area, and then you have Brexit going on as well.
It's going to be really tricky, and I think that's one of the issues that have yet to be negotiated, and why it's so exciting and actually fascinating is because even though they're saying that they want to break away, it's really impossible to be a part-time celebrity. You can't turn it off and you can't turn it on. And so what they're proposing is essentially like on the off season, we want to do our own thing and make our own money and control our private lives, and on our on season, we want to support the Queen.
We'll be
and
there.
We'll be there. And it'll be interesting to see if that works.
Because as the monarchy still has such a great influence
Absolutely.
in the partnerships that the UK has around the world.
Absolutely. And to completely detach yourself from that, I think, is a fantasy. To be able to say, for this 6 months of the year or 3 months, I'm going to be on my own, and I'm going to be Meghan Markle, not the Duchess of Sussex. It's going to be tricky.
And I was reading about her Disney voiceover job that we're just finding out about. So that's
Yeah.
probably a good, which she's doing it for a donation to
Yes.
one of their charities. But I think that's probably a good indication of what we can see. A lot of
Yeah.
talk about Meghan maybe getting back into voiceovers and working in the fashion industry.
Yeah, I think that what you're going to see is going forward is Meghan Markle and Prince Harry doing two things, using their platform as royals to promote causes that are really important to them and doing that for free or in exchange for donations to their organizations that they support. But then also what I also suspect is that they'll start getting speaker fees. So the Obamas, for example, command up to $500,000 per speaking engagement. It's estimated that Harry can command that as well. And that's where you might get the private income coming.
All right. Well, hopefully the family will be getting along. I know that there's also
Yeah.
the family issues that also work into all
Every
that. So.
family has drama.
Yes.
Right? And so I think if anything, it makes them more relatable to the rest of us.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.